So Jason Voorhees makes his return to video games in Multiverses. And honestly, this is a big deal moving forward for fans of the franchise and for the big guy himself. Let's get into this for those that don't know really about the initial reason why it's a big deal, and then we'll kind of get into Multiverses and maybe into the future. So the big reason why it's a big deal is because in the past there was a video game, a very popular video game called Friday the 13th, obviously, and it was, I believe, an 8v1 asymmetrical multiplayer game, the type like Dead by Daylight. But in this one, it was much more, at least to me, it was a little bit more fun in terms of, you could actually talk to the other players. You could talk to Jason. Jason could talk to you. It was a very fun game that allowed for so much interaction between so many people in the community, right? I even met my girlfriend there. So again, much love to Friday the 13th in general. I love the franchise. So yeah, that game was on a roll, honestly. It was competing with Dead by Daylight at the time, which didn't have as many licenses as it does right now. And, unfortunately, because of a lawsuit between the creators, the game basically just died. Like there couldn't be any further updates to the game. They even made a virtual cabin that if you solved it, you were teased that they were going to add Jason X, like the version of him, and a space map. So, we were going to get more things with that game, and I don't know if the game would have survived until now. Maybe there would have been a part 2 or something. You never know. But the game would have lasted longer than the couple years that it did, and DVD wouldn't have, basically a stranglehold on the asymmetrical market, right? Because no matter what comes out, DVD is still on top of whether it's Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Evil Dead, which I believe Evil Dead is now discontinued or is going to be discontinued. It's going to shut down. So, unfortunately, it basically killed Friday the 13th because the last movie we have was the reboot in 2009, which I thought was actually pretty good for a Friday the 13th movie. It combined the first 3 movies, or first 4, I guess, because they quote unquote kill him at the end. But they combined the first 4 movies into one reboot film that covered all of that and leading into a potential sequel that never really got off the ground. And, so Jason's been out of films for 15 years. And, which was obviously unfortunate. We got the game. Oh, that's pretty cool. But then after the game shut down, the only thing I think Jason was part of was the Friday the 13th killer puzzle, like a cutesy, like, puzzle game, which is actually, I did try it out on my phone. It's actually pretty, it's all right, but it's a pretty fun little thing. But it wasn't what Friday the 13th fans are looking for. What has kept Jason alive has literally been the fan community. Which shout out to all the fan films. The ones that I've seen are like the Womp Stomp film ones, the Never Hike Alone stuff, Never Hike in the Snow. Shout out to them. They basically kept Jason, them and all the other creators kept Jason alive throughout the years. And then now, with the advent of the Jason universe, we have right here, this basically, again, if you don't know, this article came out a couple days ago now. So this is basically them saying that they want to, Victor Miller, I believe, and Horror Inc. want to essentially broaden Jason's scope. Like Jason into like pop culture, like, like video games, franchise stuff. So they want to basically bring him back into the forefront, especially because we also have the upcoming like prequel series, which unfortunately it lost Brian Fuller, which obviously they mentioned here. And I was a really big fan because I love Hannibal, and it was kind of unfortunate that he's not part of it anymore, but I digress. So yeah, so they want to essentially bring him back, either with movies, games, just in general pop culture, right? And I think that's a great thing, finally, right? It's been 15 years. So that brings me to Multiverses, right? This came out today, Monday the 20th at 9 a.m. It was a really good trailer. I actually really liked it. I thought what's interesting about having crossover games is that sometimes they don't really like interact with each other. They kind of just fight and then they kind of go about their business. But no, so they have a lot of cool interaction between everyone here. And right at the end of the trailer, they corner Joker and Wonder Woman and all the quote-unquote good guys, which I think they even have Marvin the Martian on their side, which I don't know if I would classify him as a good guy, but I digress. But yeah, we have here at the end, I'll just play it for you all. They corner him.
But for you,
there goes our boy, and Agent Smith, which is a big deal too. So they reveal those two, but obviously they reveal or teasing more villains. They show on the like 3 or 4 more people showing up. First of all, now that we'll get into the Multiverses segment, Jason looks pretty fun. I mean, at least like his design. We don't have any gameplay of him. I know there's a lot of debate already in the community, either mainly from, I guess, I don't know, the fans of Friday the 13th or whatever, on his design. And honestly, it is a cartoony fighter with Superman, Bugs Bunny. You know, I like that for the most part. I think they even had Arya Stark, if I remember correctly. And Arya Stark is also obviously, I think this is from Game of Thrones. He's sitting on the throne. But they even exaggerate her, right? She doesn't look exactly like the way she does in the show. But you know, to fit the style, the art style, I think that's really cool. And I really like that they emphasize Jason's like ability or like his stature and exaggerated it, because we know Jason as first of all, most of us know like the Kane Hodder version, which is like the, you know, like almost like 7 foot tall. So he's a big boy, but he's also a tank. I mean, we all famously know the big punching part from part 8, where like the dude's just punching him and then Jason just grabs him, punches his head off. So I like that they exaggerate him to the point where I think he is going to be like, I think there's a class called a tank, so he looks like he has the build for one. So I like that aspect of it, because it fits the kind of character that he is. Like, he is basically a tank. In its undead form, he'll eat bullets, he'll eat punches, he'll eat stab wounds, he'll eat in Freddy vs. Jason, he got his eyes punctured out. Like, he is a tank, right? And he kept pushing it because he's already dead. What I also like about the design too is like they added like the chain figure, which, speaking of, I have him right here, I think. My boy right here. I don't know if it'll focus on there we go, I think. So it's the part 7 Jason, where he has, but again, like they were not gonna put this version of Jason where like his spine is exposed and everything, right? They were not gonna put a version of Jason like that in a game that's meant to be for everyone. So yeah, it is really interesting that they gave him, they did the design, and I think I like it for the most part. I like that they gave him the chain from part 7 when he got drowned, or part 6, I guess technically. But yeah, I like the design. I mean, it fits, and I think it's a good step moving forward. And I think he's probably gonna play interesting. It's definitely gonna get me to play. It has a lot of people talking. It's definitely gonna get me to play, because I'm a huge Jason fan, and I did play this game originally in the open beta when it came out with my friend, and he destroyed me with Harley Quinn, but I won't get into that. But yeah, so aside from Jason in Multiverses, I want to quickly talk about what this could be for the future, especially with the Jason Universe stuff and him being basically in Multiverses. Like, as soon as they announced that Jason Universe stuff, this tells me, obviously, like many deals in Hollywood or gaming or companies, right, that the people behind Jason Universe or whatever, they've been talking to people already, right? That's what that means to me. They've been talking to people left and right about, hey, we want to put Jason here, maybe we want to do this. I think originally the Jason Universe account only followed Fortnite, so we probably will be getting a Fortnite skin of Jason at some point in the future. And to me, what I'm excited for is, even though Friday the 13th, the game is pretty much dead, I don't think they can revive it. I mean, if they can, I think they passed that. They're on Texas Chainsaw, the same developers, so I don't think they're gonna want to go back. However, I do think this opens the avenue for everybody's favorite asymmetrical game, Dead by Daylight. Even though Dead by Daylight, I talked about it earlier in the video, where they kind of had like a chokehold on asymmetrical. I think, to me, what they could do now is, like, Behavior developers probably have been talking to people at Horror Inc. Who knows? I don't know. Maybe they have been talking to them already, and maybe they have plans to talk or bring Jason into Dead by Daylight, because I feel like the two most requested franchises to be in Dead by Daylight, especially since Friday the 13th has been dead, has been Five Nights at Freddy's, which I do want to see. It'll be cool to see Springtrap or Freddy or Golden Freddy, whatever they want to do. and Jason, Friday 13th. Jason has been asked for. Trapper is basically a surrogate Jason, right? He kind of has, not, I don't want to say like a hockey mask, but he has a mask. He's big. He has a machete-like weapon. He puts bear traps down, which the 2009 Jason did. He put traps. He had like tripwire and everything. So, you know, a Trapper essentially was their kind of like this. They're not Jason essentially, right? But now they could add Jason. Now, I don't know, people will be like, what would his abilities be? I mean, he had a lot of abilities in his actual game, and there's a lot of stuff with Jason being able to teleport and stuff like that. So there's a lot of things that they could do with Jason. So I would be excited for that in the future potentially, and I'll probably bring up the roadmap just to like talk about it really quick. Okay, so here we go. So this is the roadmap that they had for the recent stream for the, you know, the anniversary that's coming up. So this is what's coming for DBD. So June is obviously the anniversary. So this is where we're getting the Dungeons and Dragons, which looks really cool. Vecna looks cool. We're getting Vecna. I forget the survivors' names, but you know, they're, you know, whatever. They look cool too. I like the little, like, you know, the little trolley, like they could get on their thing and play the instrument. We're getting a new map in Borgo, like a different version. Then we're getting a new survivor, which is a licensed chapter, which I don't know what that means. I mean, what I know what it means, obviously, that it could be like a, I'm trying to remember, like Nicolas Cage, I guess would be considered licensed, right? Because it's Nicolas Cage. So I don't know who the survivor could be. It could be maybe Sidney Prescott. Who knows? I never know. So yeah, we're getting, so these two are licensed. Then August is also another license. Now you're probably thinking that's where Jason could be. No, I mean, I wish. And look, this is all, I don't, to be honest, I don't think Behavior will do this because I don't think this is how it works. But I do like the license chapter in August. They already confirmed it. They already showed a trailer on the anniversary all the way at the end. It is Castlevania. We're getting Dracula for sure. We don't know about the survivor. It could be Alucard. It could be Belmont. We don't know. It'd be funny just seeing Richter or Simon like just running around. But anyway, we're getting a Castlevania chapter, unless they decide to switch things around and then put Jason here some reason. I doubt it. And then the last chapter of the year is, and looks like an original chapter with a new map, new survivor, and new killer. You know, this is basically always their formula, right? I believe they release always like 4 or 5 killers a year, with survivors like intermingled, right? For like the mid chapter stuff. So, you know, this is the end of the year. March next year is another licensed chapter, and it's just a killer. Now, if I were a betting man, I would probably put my money that this could be Jason right here. If they were already talking about it, if they're already trying to do stuff, my bet is that Jason comes out in March if they're going to release him, because I think Jason could work as a solo, just a solo killer drop like Leatherface or Pinhead, or, you know, like, you know, stuff, or I believe Freddy had never mind, he had Quentin and stuff. But yeah, you get what I'm trying to say, right? Jason could have a survivor like Tommy Jarvis if they want to. But I don't know the extent of the licensing and everything, so I don't know if, you know, Tom Matthews would be, you know, whatever, but, you know, he was down for Never Hike Alone, so you never know. But I think Jason could be part of the, like, just a solo chapter. I would have liked if we do get a Friday 13 chapter to be a full chapter with a killer, a survivor, and a map, like a Crystal Lake map. I think that would be pretty cool. But again, this is just speculation. I just wanted to show this to let you guys know like what DBD has in store for the next year and where I would probably think they would put Jason. Again, unless they switch things around and whatever, that's where my assumption is going to be. But yeah, and moving forward, again, this is why it's way bigger than it just being, oh, it's cool, he's the Multiverse now. Again, because it does say subject to change. Whatever. We'll see. But yeah, again, it's way bigger than that because now Jason is in Multiverses. He has the opportunity to be in the biggest asymmetrical horror game out right now, and honestly the most streamed. We have people like Outstarva, Spooky Loops, you know, Vulpixia and everyone. Like there's a lot of people that stream this game, and I would probably stream it myself if Jason comes out. But yeah, in general, I think moving forward too, the avenue for a new Friday the 13th game would be pretty cool. I personally would want like a supermassive Until Dawn style game, because it kind of would remind me of The Quarry, and I think it would work for Friday the 13th because I think those games have a nice little tension. I know they're basically movie games or whatever you want to call them, but I think that would be pretty cool. It would be interesting, like, you know, you have options to do stuff, and if you do those things, Jason will come, or, you know, there's a higher likely chance Jason will show up, kind of like that, right? So I think it's a broader picture now, right? So we have a show that's in development. We have him in a game finally. He might be coming to Fortnite. He might be coming to DVD. And I think it's finally like a good thing for us Friday the 13th fans that we're finally eating. It's been 15 years. And I know aside from the fan projects, we have been basically starved for Friday the 13th content. So it's really cool to see Jason basically, I mean, even mention or back in the stream of consciousness. It is going to be funny to see like Jason Voorhees fighting like, you know, Finn or Steven Universe, so it's gonna be pretty funny. But I think it's a good step forward because it has a lot of people talking. There's a lot of people on Twitter talking about Multiverses right now and Jason and stuff like that. So, you know, let me know what you all think in the comment section down below. Also, for these types of videos, I'm probably gonna limit these maybe for 1 or 2 times a week. I know I'm mainly like a Pirate Warriors channel, but I do like a lot of stuff like horror, film. So I might try to do like these videos, and I'll try. I have some ideas with Pirate Warriors what I can do. I'll probably make a separate update video talking directly about that. But in general, I probably might do like these videos like once a day or once a week or twice a week. Again, if you guys want to see more of these types of videos, like I did mention I wanted to do maybe like a podcast type of thing, like a weekly thing where I just sit down, maybe with someone else every now and then and just blab away about the things that I like, because I like a lot of things, and it's kind of like it'll be pretty cool to interact with y'all a little bit more through streams and stuff like that. So yeah, we'll see. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this type of video. Make sure you leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you're new, and yeah, I'll see you all next one. Peace out, everybody.